tonight I'm going to be cooking on the griddle. So we're going to be doing some stir fry kind of stuff tonight. So we're going to start with a base of shrimp. These are just large, they don't look that large, but they said large on the package. Large, veinless, and detailed shrimp. Detailed, that sounds like I'm about to fix a car or something. They don't have tails. And so what we're going to do is create a quick marinade for the shrimp. And it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to do garlic. I've got 3 cloves. I'm just going to crush these and mince them into the marinade. Then I'm going to do some extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of honey, some pepper, lemon juice, balsamic vinegar, and then this one I'm actually think is going to be pretty cool. It's a sweet chili sauce. It's actually pretty neat. Put that up here where you can see it. It's got a pretty cool flavor to it, I think. We really like it on this kind of thing. So I'm going to add that in. Hopefully that'll make a good flavor. So I'm going to get started putting the marinade together in here. Once we get it all kind of put together, stirred together, we'll put it all over the shrimp, get that mixed in real good. And then we're going to get the griddle fired up to get that to start heating up, and then add the vegetables and rice and other things from there. So I'm going to get busy on this, and we'll be back in a minute. Now I've got the garlic all minced up. That's all I've done so far, but I thought I'd come back real quick to say I'm not going to measure on any of this stuff. A lot of times I do. If for no other reason, I like to kind of know what I've done before, so that if I need to tweak it or make an adjustment, I know kind of what I did before and know what to change to maybe improve it for the next time. But tonight, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to kind of guess at measurements and kind of just pour it in and base it on texture and smell and volume of the marinade for the amount of shrimp that we have. So yeah, just kind of going to wing it tonight. So I've mixed it up. It's looking pretty good. It's smelling pretty good. I just wanted to add a little bit more of this the sweet chili sauce, because it didn't quite have as much of that taste and smell. I didn't actually taste it, but the smell, it wasn't strong enough for what I was going for. So I'm going to add a little bit, mix it up, and see if that's a little bit better. Has a little bit of a thick consistency, that sweet chili sauce does. And then with the honey, it also added some thickness to it, because there's quite a bit of olive oil mixed in with this. So I don't know how well, let me just pull this up here. Hopefully, yeah, you can kind of see the texture. You've got the minced garlic in there, and then it's kind of a thick kind of texture there. So hopefully you can kind of see what we're working with. So I'm just going to pour this over top of all of these shrimp. Get it all in there. It's maybe a little bit more overall volume of marinade than we need for the shrimp. But it's okay. It'll get them in there real good. So I'm going to just stir this around a little bit. Trying not to damage the shrimp at this stage, but just get the marinade mixed in really, really good on all those shrimp. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Got the shrimp all mixed up. Without spilling this, you know what? Let me just do it this way. This will give you a better view into what we're dealing with. Just pull the camera down here. So yeah, it's got a nice marinade on that shrimp. So we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes while I run out to the deck and get the griddle fired up, get it warming up, and then we'll be ready to start the cook. I'm out on the deck now, and it's a scorcher of a day. I think we're mid-90s. So another hot one. You can see when I go to pull this off, oh, it didn't. A lot of times when you pull this cover off on a super hot day, it's kind of been sticking to that top. So let me just put this camera down over here. Sorry about that. Adjust it just a little bit. You guys can kind of see where we go from here. I'm just going to undo this cover. Now, I'll tell you, interesting. If you're looking here, you'll see I've got a Blackstone cover, but it's on a Camp Chef griddle. The mid-size Camp Chef griddle turns out fits the Camp Chef cover very, very well. And at the time, or I'm sorry, fits the Blackstone cover. And at the time that I bought this, maybe they have it now, I don't know, but Camp Chef did not have a cover for their griddle. So I went and bought this Blackstone cover, and it works really, really well. So underneath the Blackstone cover is the Camp Chef griddle. All right, so I'm just going to pull this top off. Ooh, that doesn't look very pretty. I'm going to have to clean that up a little bit and season that better for next time. So let me just turn this on, get this starting to heat up. I'll clean it up a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Now, one of the things I do like about the Camp Chef is that it's got the piezo starters, and so you don't have to have a battery operated lighter, and you don't have to use a manual lighter either. So I'm going to put these on, probably about a medium or so, and let that start to heat up. I'm going to clean the top here, get it food ready, and then we'll get going with cooking. So let me show you what I've got going on here. I pulled the top off of this, and this is what greeted me. It is not pretty. It's not good at all. I've had this Camp Chef griddle for several years now, and I always take good care of it. I clean it after every cook right away, keep it oiled real good. I keep this this lid on top so that there doesn't get any water on it, but I'm guessing somehow maybe something wasn't seated just right and some water got in here, because it's been maybe a week or so since I used this last. We did get some rain, some pretty heavy rain, and boy, that's not a pretty sight. I've never had that. It's always, like, literally always looked like it does in the corners there, nice and black, seasoned well, everything good. So I'm gonna have to get this cleaned up. I guess I'll take you along for the ride so you can kind of see what we're doing here. So let me get this camera set up where you can follow the process, and I'll show you how we're gonna clean this up. So this is getting nice and hot up here. I've had the fire on for a few minutes, not real long. And I've verified it had to have gotten wet in here because there's water in the drip pan, and that was dry when I left it last. So somehow some water got in here and made a mess of my griddle top. So what I'm going to start by doing is just scraping all this off the top real good. We'll just clean it up a little bit. Not great. I really like to keep my stuff clean, keep it nice, keep it good. It'll last a long time if you do that. So that's frustrating, but you know, stuff like that happens. All right, so now that we've got a lot of that surfaced flakes kind of scraped off, I'm gonna go back and just make sure I got it all. There, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to put some water on it and give it a good scrape everywhere. It's nice and hot, like I said, because I've had this heating up. We'll season this real good. The food that we're cooking will help season it some too. You need paper towels? Yeah. Sure. All right, I'm gonna get a couple of paper towels. We'll start with one probably and do this a couple of times. And just use the paper towel on the surface with the water to kind of clean up any remaining flakes and residue from that mess we had there. All right, that's getting better. It's a good thing we started early tonight. It's only, I don't know, just barely after 5 o'clock. So, because I wasn't expecting this, so we're not starving, so we have time to clean this up. Let me get a little bit of oil. We'll spread some oil on there, get that in real good, and then we'll kind of be ready to start on the cook. All right, I've got a little bit of oil. Let me just grab a paper towel. Get this oil. Especially want it to get in to that part that got messed up. I'll just take my kind of spread this everywhere. We want this oil to get on all surfaces. All right, there we go. That's cleaning that up better. We'll cook on it. We'll give it a good clean when we're done. We'll get this thing back into good shape. I was going to use butter as the base for the shrimp, but now that I've got this all oiled up, we'll probably just stick with the oil. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. It's a little bit hotter than I think I want. We're going to go kind of between low and medium on all 4 of these. And I'm going to put this aside for now. I don't need it at the moment. Let me get the shrimp. Ooh, that got a little too close. Look at that. There's a warning. I forgot I stuck that there. It is hot coming out of there and kind of melted the side of our olive oil. So we'll get that moved to somewhere else. I usually work from somewhere other than the side panels because it does send a lot of heat around the edges. And you can get yourself in trouble like we just did there. Let me grab the food. We're going to be doing, well, let me just get the food and then I'll show you what we're going to be doing. So that's plenty hot. I'm not feeding an army tonight. A lot of times, well, we've got a big family, so a lot of times I'm cooking quite a bit of food whenever I cook, but I'm not tonight. Tonight, most of our kids are out at an event, a youth event, so we're cooking fewer things. Let me kind of show you what we got. Got some vegetables and some rice we're going to do together as like some fried rice with some eggs. So we'll make some fried rice out of that. And then I already showed you the shrimp inside, and we're going to put that on there as well. So let me set this camera back up where you guys can see what we're doing. Look at that. Look at that. Got me all out of sorts. All right. So we're going to put the shrimp on, the fried rice on here pretty quick and kind of cook it all together. It should come off pretty quick. Before I get started, I'm going to go grab a platter because this will cook quick. And if you are done cooking it and you got to then take time to go inside, grab a platter to put it on and come back out, you run a real good chance of burning it. So let me get a platter to put this on when we're done and I'll be right back. Folks, I told you it was hot out here. My camera died. It's my iPhone, and it died and gave me that ugly message that says, I don't know the exact text, but it says that it is too hot and your phone is having an emergency, and there's a real problem, and it will cease to function until it can cool down. So emergency overheating of the phone. Took it inside, actually stuck it in the freezer for just a couple minutes. Cool things off. Hopefully it'll last. This will go quick once we get started. So let me set this camera up really quick, and where you guys can follow along in the process. And this is going to go really, really quick, starting right now, because I'm going to start dropping things. So I already gave you the lay of the land. We're doing fried rice. We're doing some vegetables. I'm just going to drop this in. This is already cooked, the rice, so it'll go really, really super quick. These vegetables are not cooked, but they'll cook really quick as well. I'm just going to drop those in. And on these veggies, I'm going to chop them up. So I'm just going to dice this a little bit. We'll let them cook a little bit, I guess. They're kind of tough. So sometimes they'll chop real easy, real quick. Sometimes you have to cook them a little bit. Most of that oil has burned off a little bit, so I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to what we're cooking here. Let that kind of merge in. We're going to mix all that together. Like I said, we're doing fried rice, so I got to get some eggs going. This will cook really fast now that we're going. Let me get a little bit more oil on the pan. Drop a little bit right there in there. Get these eggs cooking. I've got 2 of them that I'm going to do. Just going to crack that. All right, so those are cooking real good. Throw my glove on so don't burn myself. We're going to start to mix all this together. All right, now that I got that going, I'm going to take this shrimp and we're going to dump it all on as well. There we go. That's cooking good. I'm going to add a little bit of this stir-fry sauce into these vegetables. That's a brand new bottle, I guess. I gotta open this thing up. That'll go good. All right, now what I gotta show you right now, because it's happening, something I've seen one other time happen. And it is that this griddle top is absolutely messed up. I'm going to turn the camera off so I can turn this thing around. This griddle top has completely warped. It's a Camp Chef. And look at this. Now, I didn't go from super cold to super hot, super fast, nothing like that. It's 90 plus degrees out here. I've got these between low and medium. This should not be happening. I've loved this Camp Chef griddle. It's been great, but it did this to me one other time. Just totally warped the top, and it relaxed back, and it has done it again. just now. So let me set this camera back up and we'll finish cooking what we're doing. But that's not good. I'm going to have to contact Camp Chef about that and see if we can get a replacement top. All right, so we're cooking this up. We're going to get this shrimp finished. It's looking good. We're going to get these vegetables stirred up real good and get them taken off in just a minute. They're getting very close to done. I like the vegetables to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to chop these up a little bit. There we go. All right, this fried rice is perfectly ready to come off. Maybe a little overdone because I was dealing with that warped griddle top, so I think it kind of overcooked a little bit, but it'll be all right. So I'm going to drop this out on this platter. Let me just move this and put it there. I'll be able to work a little bit better that way. All right, there's our fried rice. That'll be good. And then this shrimp is still cooking up, but it's getting close to being ready to come off as well. Shrimp doesn't take real long to cook, so this will be ready soon. This is not quite going to plan, just with all the hiccups we had with the rust on the top, which was a new thing, and then now at warping, it's starting to go back a little bit. But as you can see, I'm ending up with a lot of liquid collecting in the wrong corner because this front corner got all warped up on me. All right, that shrimp is getting really close. I'm going to just give it a little bit more time, not very much more, and call that done. Yeah, getting very, very close to being done. It's looking really good too. All right, let me grab my other platter. Show you the fried rice. It turned out all right. So we're gonna get this shrimp off of here as well. Yeah, shrimp looks really good too. Let me just show you this. I don't know if you can see it in the shadows or not, but it looks really good. So I think between the shrimp, the fried rice, we'll end up with a pretty good meal here. All right, I'm going to work on cleaning this up a little bit and get this all cleaned up, get the fire turned down. Hopefully this will level out. It's already gone down from where it was. That was the strangest thing. I'm going to just turn these all the way to low. Well, this did not go to plan. The phone died again because it was too hot. Obviously, I showed you the other issues we ran into. As a result of all that, I kind of burned the fried rice a little bit, but the shrimp turned out okay, I think. I've got it plated. Let me spin this around and let you see the finished product. There's the finished product. I don't know, in that sunlight, maybe hard to see. Let's get it over here. Maybe it's easier to see. So there's the finished result. We've got the fried rice on the left, the shrimp on the right. I haven't tried this yet, so I need to taste it and see what it's like. But like I said, a few things went wrong. This was a really unusual cook today. Usually things are much more normal than that, but things happen, and that was tonight. So if you learn anything, learn that doesn't always go like you think it will. So let me show you where we're at. I've cleaned it up and oiled it, put it away. I think it has relaxed back now to what is normal. for the griddle top. That was just so odd. It had done it one time to me prior. One time prior, I had I think I was cooking some fajitas, so chicken and steak and bell peppers, mushrooms, that kind of thing. And it had done that to me once before, but I hadn't ever had it happen any other time. That was so weird. So this top, it's still not perfect. You can see where we had some problems. I've got it oiled. I'm going to let it sit. We'll season this a few times. It no longer has the flakes, like it's smooth, but it's discolored there a little bit. It doesn't have that nice black sheen like it normally does. So, but I'll work with this over time. A few times of seasoning it, heating it up, seasoning it, and maybe even cooking on it a few times. And I think we'll get to a good spot. Also, I'm going to contact Camp Chef and see if they can send me a replacement top, because that feels like a problem for it to have bubbled up like that. And Camp Chef has been good to work with in the past, and I've really enjoyed the unit. It's been good, but that's kind of a problem. Well, so the meal that had the makings to be such a good meal, I mean, shrimp and fried rice on the griddle top, that can be a really good meal. Kind of turned out to be a dud tonight. And so I'm going to post this video anyway. I'm going to try to salvage the parts that I can, because we had several things kind of not go great. The first one was the surprise on the top of the griddle when I opened it up, where everything had rusted out, and we had flakes coming off and just not in a good spot at all. And so we had to take a detour and get that cleaned up a little bit before we could even start cooking. And then once we started cooking, it was so hot out today, and that my phone, partway through, it died because it was too hot. It gave me the ugly error message that it's too hot, can't keep going. So then took it inside. I actually stuck the phone in the freezer for a short while, just a couple of minutes, to get it cooled off. Back outside and rolling again. And the next thing I know, the griddle top is all warped. The front left corner just completely warped up. And I mean, probably 4 inches, maybe 5 inches higher than it's supposed to be on that front left corner. And the back left corner was up a little bit, but it was mostly that front left corner. The right side stayed down like it's supposed to. So just completely warped the top. And in dealing with all of that, at some point, my phone died a second time because it was too hot. But in dealing with all of that, I burned the fried rice, and it was really, it wasn't good. So crunchy burned rice is not something you want to be eating. It's not enjoyable. So we ate it, we tasted it. The taste was all right, but it was not good. It didn't turn out well. The shrimp turned out okay. They weren't bad. Now, in dealing with all the mess and everything, we didn't eat them while they were hot, and so by the time we actually started eating them, they had cooled off a little bit. So it wasn't cold shrimp, but it wasn't warm like you would want normally, right? Right after you've cooked it, to plate it and eat it. So it was kind of a dud meal. So I'm going to post this anyway, because here's the reality. That stuff happens, and on the meals where I'm cooking it and I'm looking at you and going, oh, this is perfectly cooked. Look at that. You can't get better. Juice running everywhere. Whatever the things are, right? It's like, this is phenomenal. Ah, tastes amazing, smells good, melt in your mouth. Just, it's so there. It is that good. When I'm telling you that, it's true. I'm not just saying it because it's actually true. Because when it's bad, I'll tell you that as well. And it is sometimes. And it was tonight. The shrimp was the best part of the meal. The marinade was working for us, actually. I liked the flavor. The marinade worked. It was good. But the shrimp was a little bit cold by the time we ate it, and the fried rice was terrible. It was ruined. So we had a lot of hurdles tonight. So when that happens, you make up for it. You make yourself a root beer float. And that's how you salvage the night right there. Root beer float. So maybe next time we'll have something better to talk about, something that was really, really good and amazing, and I'll tell you all the things and make your mouth water and make you want to cook it yourself or eat it right then, and wish you had a plate of it. But tonight, probably your PBJ or whatever you were rolling with tonight might have worked out better. But the root beer float, it'll salvage it, and it'll be all right. We'll do better next time.